Hello, my dear friends. Today I will tell you another story of mine, the power of choice. Anna had always believed that life was something that just happened to her. Like a river, it carried her wherever it pleased, and she could do nothing but go along with the current. She thought she had no control over her fate, that circumstances dictated her happiness, and that other people's choices had more power over her life than her own. It was easier that way. If she was disappointed, it was because someone let her down. If she was unhappy, it was because life had been unfair. If she felt empty, it was because the world hadn't given her what she needed. And then, one day, life presented her with a choice she could no longer ignore. It happened on a quiet afternoon, in the middle of an ordinary week. She received a message that shattered something inside her, a few words, cold and indifferent, from someone she had trusted, someone who had promised to stay. Her heart sank, and for a moment she felt it again, that familiar weight of helplessness. Why does this always happen? Why do people leave? Why do they take and take, only to walk away when I need them? The thoughts came rushing in, pulling her down like an undertow. Anger burned in her chest. She wanted to cry, to scream, to curse the unfairness of it all. But then, something unexpected happened. A quiet thought surfaced, barely a whisper. What if this is a choice? Anna frowned, confused. What do you mean a choice? I didn't choose this. I didn't choose to be heard. But the thought didn't go away. Instead, it grew stronger. You didn't choose what happened, but you can choose what happens next. She sat with the idea for a moment. Let it sink in. Let it challenge everything she had believed. And suddenly, she saw her life in a way she never had before. She saw herself at 6 years old, standing in a playground, watching two children whisper and laugh as they left her out of their game. She had felt small that day, unwanted, but what had hurt most wasn't the rejection, it was the belief she had formed in that moment. Maybe I am not good enough. She had carried that belief with her for years. At 15, when she watched her best friend grow distant, choosing new people and new experiences over their friendship, Anna never asked why. She never fought for herself. She simply accepted that she wasn't important enough to stay. At 22, when she loved someone who didn't love her back, she had poured her heart into him, believing that if she gave enough, he would see her worth. But when he left, all she saw in the mirror was someone who wasn't worth choosing. Again and again, life had given her the same lesson, and every time she had made the same unconscious choice, to believe that she had no power, that her worth was decided by how others treated her. But now, sitting with her pain, she saw something she had never seen before. She had always had a choice. Not over what happened to her, but over what she did with it. She could choose to believe that she was unlovable, or she could choose to believe that she had always been worthy. She could choose to drown in the pain of loss, or she could choose to let it shape her into someone stronger. She could choose to see herself as a victim, or she could choose to reclaim her power. Anna took a deep breath. For the first time in her life, she realized happiness, peace, and even love are not things we wait for. They are things we choose. And so, she made her choice. Not to forget, not to pretend it hadn't hurt, but to rise. To stop waiting for someone else to give her love and to give it to herself. To stop seeking validation and to find it within. To stop living as if she had no control and to create the life she wanted. She wiped away her tears, stood up and stepped forward toward a new path, not the one she had been placed on, the one she chose. She placed a hand over her heart and whispered, "I choose you."